I'm going to link a really great study on this podcast, and you guys can take a look at it if you'd like, but I'm going to summarize it for you probably in a few minutes here. It's a really famous study that they did with the Harvard alumni population, where they tracked these alumni on a longitudinal level. So basically over time, many years instead of many months. And they were able to track people who were exercising and then people who were not exercising. And the difference when it came to mortality, premature death was double-digit significant. And I'm trying to avoid quoting the exact amount, but it's very significant. So that just tells you that if you're exercising, you can avoid premature death, and the minimum recommended dose for exercise to avoid premature death is what ACSM recommends. No surprise here, 150 minutes a week, right? So it says here, physical activity for a minimum of 30 minutes on 5-day week, or vigorous intensity aerobic activity for a minimum of 20 minutes on a 3-day week. And you'll see, I'll put up the links here on all the exercises that I recommend, which is the Japanese life extender, which is one of my favorites. You walk slowly for 3 minutes and then you walk really fast for 3 minutes. And then for those of you who are fit and have real doctor's approval to go vigorous, I also recommend that you can run really quickly or fast walk at a high effort, so 80%, 90% of your max effort for 20 seconds, 20 to 25 seconds, break for at least 2 minutes, and then repeat. So it's a 10-minute workout where you can get vigorous activity in. And everyone knows my favorite, which is whenever possible, pick a hill, pick a road, or pick a trail that you're familiar with and climb it on a weekly basis. I prefer that you find a trail at a national park you can drive to where it's a thing, you go there, you're in nature, no one's bothering you, and you engage a little bit of nature. Let nature heal you, and I think you'll find that to be a wonderful inclusion into your daily life. And sometimes people need to be reminded, even people who used to go to trails all the time, they're like, oh, I haven't been to Mount Baldy in a while, I haven't been there. Well, put it into the rotation, because every time you put more nature in you and you put more activity in you, you're avoiding premature death. Yeah, that's great, right? So we get to live potentially a little bit longer. We get to meet life expectancy, and our quality of life will actually be a lot better than, being sick all the time or having to take a lot of drugs. One of the things I learned through exercise prescription at UConn is oftentimes the best solution is exercise and pharmaceutical intervention. It's together, not one or the other. So, sometimes it's good to continue to take statin and have an exercise regimen. Remember, always have doctor's clearance. There's years, decades of experience from these doctors, and they know your blood marker. It's a lot of the times they prescribe certain drugs because they think that the normative scale for the average American, which is not false, is that they don't exercise. So they don't want the intervention to be one where they hope you exercise. They got to solve your problem right now. So they give you pharmaceutical intervention. But if you go back to them and say, hey, doc, I've been exercising for 6 months. I've been doing 150 minutes a week. Look at my cholesterol. Look at my blood panel. And if the blood panel suggests that you're improving, chances are they'll make the necessary adjustment on the pharmaceutical side. So I think, everything's fluid. Everything is dynamic. It's not in a vacuum. Just because you're taking a certain dosage of statin, metformin, Lipitor today, or insulin, if you're diabetic and you're taking insulin twice a day or once a day. That may change according to the dosage of exercise you administer to yourself per doctor's approval. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the views. It's a special place that I think is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And there's another segment here in my YouTube channel, which brings you down the hill and back up. It's called the Lanikai Pillbox Hike. Thank you all for your time, and have a wonderful day.